for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man, today is Wednesday, March 29th, 88 days into the new year, just 277 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black. For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planets, I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Oh, you guys are off the hook tonight. Yeah, we got one of those shows coming up. Dimebag Daryl gifts are flying in Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio, hashtag F2B. Go check it out right now. Got some D. Snyder. We got Sasquatch on a soccer field playing air guitar. That's kind of cool. Got the Dimebag Daryl, though. There's like 3 or 4 of those in a row. Is that Nikki Six? Nikki Six. You guys are good, man. Freddie Mercury. You guys are good. Thank you for the dancers. Keep them going. It's distracting. Jim Carrey. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio, Facebook, YouTube. Everything is Fade to Black. Jimmy Church Radio. Go now. Follow, like, and subscribe. Why? Because tonight is a very special broadcast live from Hong Kong. F.Cheuk is here. Cheuk Fei. Cheuk Fei. Philip Fei. I'm going to call him Chuck. Because when I met him last year at Contact in the Desert, he said, I'm here from Hong Kong, and my name is Chuck. So that's it. That's what's in my brain. I know what's been tweeted out, and I know it's on his official websites and Facebook and all of that stuff. But to me, he's Chuck. I'm going to clear it with him, but I got the feeling. Really cool dude. Very smart. So enjoy the show tonight. We're going to talk UFOs in China. The history of the subject. China is old, right? So we have that, but we have the other aspects of China too. We've got pyramids over there. We've got megalithic structures. We've got an ancient history. We've got UFO contact that, and I'm going to let Chuck tell the story tonight, but I've been intrigued about this, and I've talked about it so much on the show. And to finally have him here with us is a very special treat. So let's have a good time tonight. Philip will be here in a few short minutes. All right, tomorrow night is another Fader Night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom live. Call-in numbers 323-825-5045. And like I say every night, if we have the time tonight, I'll open up the phones and everybody can speak to Chuck. Now, I had said if you have a membership and you're watching the bunker cam, you got that little secret message that I did right before the show. I just want to make an announcement right here in a general sense to everybody, all of the members out there, that please read your email. Okay, I need everybody to confirm your addresses, because the addresses and the shirt sizes and things that have come in for all of the memberships, some of them didn't confirm and check out. And we cannot ship unless the computer system says it's a good address. One number off, a street is funky, something is misspelled, it won't even charge us shipping, right? We cannot do it. We just can't send it to the address. It's a computer age thing, man. So check your emails. We've written everybody. And if you're listening to me now, don't check your emails. Just send your address and your shirt size to Rita so we can confirm. And if you think your address is correct, send it anyway so we can double check and confirm. All right? Very simple. Thank you so much. I wanted to get that out of the way. The sandbox tonight is hashtag F2B. F2B, hashtag F2B. Is that the sandbox? We don't bite. Any questions or comments during the show, use hashtag F2BQ. Of course, you can email throughout the show, and that is Jimmy@JimmyChurchRadio.com. All right, don't forget, you can subscribe. We have our membership area. You can also subscribe to the podcast. The podcast and the membership are two separate things. Both are blowing up, and I appreciate that, and I want to thank you, but it's two different things. The podcast has apps. You go to the Google store, you go to iTunes, you download the app, search Fade to Black, get the apps, $2 a month, updated every day, over 600 archive shows. There you go. All platforms are covered. That's the podcast. And you get your commercials and everything. It's just the show as we do it, unedited, moved over to the podcast, and there it is. All right? So you can listen to the show unedited. If you prefer no commercials, we have a membership area where you can go and download those files. You can download the shows, listen to them. You don't need the internet, as you know. Just create a Fade to Black folder somewhere and start filling that thing up. And all of that is commercial free. Go to our membership area on the website. Subscribe there. Okay, we have 4 levels. You can do it for free and just become a Fadernaut and then just move on down the line. If you get a 1-year subscription, and thank you to everybody that has done it, by the way. 1-year subscription, your name goes in one of those Fade to Black hats. And tomorrow night, Thursday, live on this show, we're going to do the contest giveaway for the Tascam DM100 Mark III digital recorder, $300 brand new recorder in the box. I'm going to throw in a 64 gig chip in it, so you're good to go. 2 microphones, XLRs, compressors, dual batteries, records 2 files at the same time. It's absolutely the most professional ghost hunting tool that you can have. And if you're a musician and you want to record yourself or record other, it is the box. So if you want, you have 24 hours. Well, less than that. Go and get your membership tonight. Do it tomorrow. Your name's going to go in the hat. Somebody is going to win this tomorrow. So good luck to everybody. I cannot wait, man. This is going to be so cool. All right. Don't forget all of our sponsors, Life Change Tea, right? GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, Studio Dome Speakers, all of our sponsors. Click on their banners over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Use the promo codes that are right there in the banners, and you're going to get yourself discounts and free shipping. Okay? Contact in the Desert coming up May 19th through the 22nd. Our guest tonight, Cheuk Fei, Philip, I met last year at Contact in the Desert, and I posted pictures, or a picture of Chuck and I last year when he walked up and said that he flew in from Hong Kong. And I just couldn't believe it. And the picture, there it is. That is a cool dude right there. That's a cool dude. But he knows his stuff. That's Chuck. He's our guest tonight. And Contact in the Desert is coming up May 19th through the 22nd. Chuck is going to be there this year. We'll talk about that. So come on out. May 19th through the 22nd, Joshua Tree, California. Hang out with Chuck. You want to meet Chuck? I'll introduce you to Chuck. Tickets and info over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. This year, of course, George Norrie, Jacques Vallée is going to be there. David Wilcock, Corey Good, Jim Mars, of course, Giorgio Tsoukalos, Richard Dolan, Andrew Collins, Linda Moulton Howe, Whitley Strieber, David Sereda, and I'm going to be broadcasting live Friday night, Fade to Black, from the Lotus Room. And we'll have 14 guests there, and it's always packed out, so come and hang out with all the other Fadernauts. It's going to be great. And then that's Friday night. Saturday night, I'll be hosting the Forbidden Archaeology panel, Under the Stars, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the amphitheater. And my panelists this year will be Graham Hancock, Robert Bavall, Robert Schock, Andrew Collins, Brian Forrester, and Carl Larberger. All right, so there you go. And after that, we're going to go hang out with Melinda Leslie and do that night watch. We're giving away passes. We just gave away 12 earlier this week. I think we're going to give away some more tomorrow, and we'll do it again next week, too, as well. You can enter the contest. Just go to Jimmy Church Radio. Very simple. Go to the website, okay, jimmychurchradio.com. There's a contest banner there. Click on it. Enter. The pass is not transferable. I want you to win. Go ahead, win. And if you can go, let us know. If you cannot, let us know so we can draw another name. All right? Good luck to all of you. All right? Fate or nots rule. We are going to take over Joshua Tree this year. We do it every year, but this year we have the Fader compound. The Fader compound. Oh, man, I just cannot wait. I don't know how we're going to pull it off. So I know that Thursday night, there's a reception and stuff, so we've got to go do that. Then after that, I'll leak it out right now. We're going to do what we do every year. We're going to take over the Joshua Tree Saloon. Somebody posts, I saw it last night, the night before, posted a picture of the Joshua Tree Saloon from last year. Holy mackerel, man. We had like 50 fader knots there, and trust me, the bar is not that big, man. We took that thing over. Well, we're going to do it again. That'll be Thursday night. Friday night, we'll have the Fade to Black broadcast, and we'll have a little get-together. Saturday night, obviously, the panel, and then Melinda Leslie, but probably another Fader get-together Saturday night. Sunday is going to be one of those days, like it is at Sunday at Contact in the Desert. It is going to be amazing. Now, I've got some secret stuff about what's going on there this year, and that I can't leak out. But I'm going to tell you, they've got some really, really, really cool things planned for everybody once you get there. I'm just letting you know now. It's going to be really cool. All right? Tickets and info over at jimmychurchradio.com. Let's get this show cracking, everybody. Today, happy birthday to the one, the only, Brendan Gleeson. And today, he is 62. Now, you remember, you may know him from Harry Potter, right? Gangs of New York, he was amazing. In Burgess, amazing. Mission Impossible. Troy, he was great. 28 Days Later. How about Edge of Tomorrow? AI, right? Braveheart. But none of that counts. Oh, no. Because the big one was Sheriff Hank Keogh in Lake Placid. My man, Brendan Gleeson. Today is 62 years old. All right, on this day in history, OTD. Check this out. Special day. I don't know what it is about March 29th. But in 1973, the United States withdraws from Vietnam. You remember that? The helicopters being pushed off the aircraft carriers? 1973, we withdraw from Vietnam. In 1951, the Rosenbergs were convicted of espionage. And it kind of turns out today that they were maybe wrongfully executed. 1974, Mariner 10 visits Mercury. Now, all big events for sure, but not as big as what happened in 2006. You know what that was? Tom Jones, my man, is knighted by Queen Elizabeth II on this day in 2006. Fader fact. In 1998, I'm doing this for this Saturday, April Fool's Day. I'll be over at Coast to Coast, by the way, hosting this Saturday. Before I forget, I'll announce that now. In 1988, Burger King announced the left-handed Whopper, where all of the condiments, the pickles, right? All the condiments were rotated 180 degrees to suit left-handed people. Yeah, right? In 1998. But it was an April Fool's joke, a hoax. But people lined up for days to order those. All those lefties thought that they were finally getting recognized. And that is a Fader fact. Tonight, very special guest, F.Cheuk. Cheuk Fei is live from Hong Kong. We're going to talk UFOs in China. We're going to talk the history of China, lost history, pyramids. We're going to do it all tonight with Chuck, and it'll be live here in just a few short minutes. Tomorrow night is another Fader Night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake News Room live. The call-in number tonight and every night is 323-825-5045. Now, love my Fade to Black blend. A drugged-up German art dealer from a very prestigious family beat his British friend to death with a candlestick. Now, I know what you're thinking, the movie Clue, right? I know where you're going. But he did it after becoming convinced that his friend was an alien. Yeah. Court's going down now. Everything that I'm about to tell you was lifted directly from court documents. His name? Bennett? Oh, it's not funny. It's not funny. The story, okay, just let me finish. Bennett von Verties, 31 years old, was apparently high on cocaine and the horse tranquilizer ketamine. High, right? They were skiing all day. More on that in just a bit. So these two rich kids get all whacked out of their minds. And then he attacked his friend, Alex Morgan, 23 years old. And this all went down at a Swiss ski chalet owned by his family. The pair had met at Regent's College in London, now Regent's University London, where they had studied different business administration courses, but they were friends. And the shocking incident happened during a skiing holiday back in December 2014. And Mr. Morgan was stabbed with, I've got incense burning, and it's just like coming across now over to here. So if that's what you see, the bunker's not on fire. It's just incense. It happened during the skiing holiday, December 2014. He was stabbed with a shard of glass from a broken coffee table, right? And then hit with a 3-foot candlestick weighing 13 pounds. And then he was bludgeoned with a 4-pound gold sculpture and an antique figurine. Just beat to death because his friend, Bennett, thought he was an alien. Vertes claimed that after returning to his family's chalet with Mr. Morgan during a snowstorm, they took a bunch of drugs and started to discuss the end of the world. And he says, this is what ended up happening. This is what he said in court and to the police. He said that during this conversation about the end of the world, that he turned to his friend and he had turned into a little green man, an alien. This is directly from the court papers. And that the alien, his buddy, then tried to kill him. And he needed to defend himself. Vertes, his family, they run this well-known, successful Salis and Verdes Gallery in Zurich, which sells artwork by artists such as Matisse, Man Ray, and Andy Warhol. Right? This is in Zurich, no less, right? A very, very rich and respected family. He, Vertes, Bennett, has his own gallery, also in Zurich, specializing in contemporary and pop art, and he opened that up back in 2001. Mr. Morgan grew up in a wealthy family himself in London and was described as an accomplished sportsman. I don't know what that means. Now, I don't know. It's ketamine. I don't know about the cocaine side. But I don't know what it takes to have that kind of hallucination to do this to your friend, right? And I don't know what kind of warnings I can give to the kids out there in a story like this. But the way that the press is dealing with it and the drop of the word alien, right, is making this guy to be out a crazy dude. He was a dude high on drugs, right? I don't want them to give all of us, friends of E.T. a bad name. Now, I want to change gears a little bit, but everything is connected, and I have a way of doing that. Today, because I'm going to tie all of this into Jim Mars when I'm done. Today, the global pizza chain, Domino's, announced that it is partnering with Starship Technologies, the Estonian-based ground startup robot builders, to begin delivering pizza in Hamburg, Germany this year. Actually, in 2 months. They started today. More on that in a second. The companies expect robot deliveries to kick off immediately and fully functional in the next 2 months. Starship's six-wheeled robots, they're not that big. Looks like a cooler, right? A cooler, maybe a 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall, maybe 2 feet, little rectangle with six wheels on it. And they weigh about 40 pounds when empty, and they travel about 4 miles an hour walking speed. For now, the robotic deliveries will only be available within a mile radius of selected Domino's locations, but they are doing it. And those Starship's bots can rove around on sidewalks autonomously. For now, the machines will be accompanied by a human to monitor the situation, make sure nobody steals pizzas off of the robot. Now, in New Zealand last year, they delivered a pizza via drone. You remember me talking about that. Last month, they also unveiled and tested a sidewalk robot that Domino's built and designed themselves, which completed a successful delivery in Australia. But it's unclear if the company plans to work with Starship instead of building its own technology in the long term. Which brings me to this: population control. It's all connected, my friends. In Japan, right now, well, it's all around the world, but it's taken off in Japan. You can have a little relationship with a cartoon on your phone, your computer, and the name of the application and the app, which is it's huge. It's gotten really big. Doesn't matter, and it's basically a game, but you have this girlfriend that you can take to bars and stuff and fall in love. Well, what has happened in Japan, just like with Domino's and robots around the world, right? The employment opportunities now are shrinking. Japan, because of a lot of different things, robots, and this little app that you can run and fall in love with this cartoon, literally have a relationship with. In Japan, in the next 20 years, they're expecting the population to drop by 2050 by 30%. 30%. Men over there, women too, they're not dating, they're not getting married, and they're not reproducing. Isn't that strange? Now, how can Japan, by culling the herd in that fashion, sustain a population to keep the economy going so people are working in the factories? Well, everything over there is getting automated, isn't it? They have hotels with robots. They've got restaurants with robots. They've got sushi bars with little trains on it, right? And now they've got this dating app to eliminate the need for dating somebody real. They literally expect the population to drop by 30%. Now, if you want economic growth, and I know that you've played games before where video games, where you need population to increase so you could build more stuff and conquer, right, and take over things. It's the way it works. But if you're going to go in the opposite direction and reduce the workforce, then what are you doing on the backside? In Japan's case, they are automating that entire country, right? Is it a form, listen to me, is it a form of population control? When I'm talking about the man, right, somebody sent me an email yesterday. I got it yesterday. I should read it. Said, Jimmy, if the man, the cabal, is, with the Georgia Guidestones, wants to bring the population down, and that's what everybody is talking about, how come they are not doing it? And there you go. There's part of the answer right there. Hidden in plain sight. Could it be viruses? Yeah, it could be. Could be the CDC is testing things. And maybe some of these lab-created viruses that are put out there just aren't that successful and they burn themselves out. Maybe they haven't figured out the way to do it yet. But Japan, 30% in 30 years. Think about this. This is not a joke. So when I talk about on this show, this is very important, the evidence of, control, and I'm talking about internet privacy, and I'm just talking about the man in general and the way that we have become this global thing. And something like this, automation, the singularity, man, computers, all of it. And something like this is going down in Japan. Could it go down everywhere? Could you, not even unsuspecting, all those PS4 Microsoft players out there that are going to stop dating? And I'm not kidding. Before you just go, whoa, church, this is too much. These numbers are real. And I need you to think about this. It's a trippy situation. And Japan obviously knows and is planning for the future that this is going down. They've replaced their workforce with robots. Why? Because they're not going to have a workforce by 2050. Think about that. And with that, let's go. Because tonight we have got Cheuk Fei right here, live from Hong Kong. Wonder what his feelings are about Japan. Maybe we shouldn't go there. Can he go there? Can he comment on Japan while living in Hong Kong? Does he get the knock on the door? Yeah, that's a trip. I never even thought about that. How free is it to have a free mind? How easy is it to have a free mind in Hong Kong? Tonight, we're going to find out. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Email Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply and, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to getthetea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to getthetea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic, and very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Again, getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA. The Planet.
Hi, this is Chase Kletsky with Fate Magazine Radio, and you're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station where the Fadernauts rock.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter right now at JChurchRadio. Simple, at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do. I want to say this about tonight's show. I haven't been this excited about a guest in a long time. And I first met Cheuk last year at Contact in the Desert. And I followed him from the background over the last year. Tonight's going to be one of those shows. I want you to pay attention, have some fun, but it's going to be all that. Cheuk Fei, F.Cheuk, is an artist. He's a filmmaker. He's a lecturer, writer, and program host in Hong Kong, China. He had his first UFO sighting when he was 13. Fei has worked as a senior art director and creative director in international advertising agencies and marketing companies in China. In 2008, he began hosting an internet radio program before starting his own internet radio station in 2010, covering what? UFOs and the unexplained. He became well known when he started to appear frequently as guest on local TV and cable television stations and networks. And he is very devoted to the study of not only extraterrestrials and the UFO phenomenon, but everything in the ufology field. He hosted a lecture of Fire in the Sky with Travis Walton in 2015. He also follows UFO cases and studies alien abductions and contact cases in Hong Kong, Macau, and China itself. Fei has considered himself being protected by someone from above, as he survived and escaped a few serious incidents. He studied remote viewing from 2 former U.S. Army instructors, and he also studies spiritual subjects. He's practiced Japanese swordsmanship, meditation, and Zen. His websites are right there at jimmychurchradio.com, mj13show.com, and hiddenmessages.tv. And I would like to welcome for the first time to Fade to Black, F.Cheuk Fei. F.Cheuk Fei, good evening, my man. How are you?
Let me jump in real quick, Jimmy.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen. Hey. I'm so excited to have you on the show, but let me clear up a couple of things before we move forward, if you don't mind.
Sure.
First, when you came up to me and introduced yourself at Contact in the Desert, you said, "Call me Cheuk." Right? So You've always been Cheuk to me, and Philip just doesn't work. So can we just go with Cheuk tonight? Will you be offended, or are we cool with that?
Whatever you call, because most of the foreigner don't understand is the Cheuk, the Chinese name. We put the surname on the front. Okay?
Oh, so that's your last name.
The surname, the family name, we put it on the front.
Right.
So Cheuk Fei. Cheuk is actually the surname, and Fei is the name. But people call me Philip instead.
Okay.
No problem. Whatever you want.
Well, see, like I said, you've always been Chuck to me, man.
Yeah, even Travis Walton, he saw me last year and said, "Oh, do you remember Chuck?" He introduced me to the other friends.
Right.
So Chuck is more easier to everybody.
Yeah, okay, so let's go with Chuck for now. And
sure, no problem.
Somehow we'll change to Philip over the years, but for now it's going to be Chuck. So now you know the drill. You've been a fan of Fade to Black for a long time. So tonight, my man, you get the first-time guest disclaimer. And so here we go. Chuck, it's just you and me sitting on my couch as friends, and we're going to have a conversation. Where it starts, where it ends, but we're going to end as friends. Are you ready?
Sure, ready.
Oh, man, I know you are. Now, right there at the beginning of the show, I just want to tell everybody when Chuck came up to me and he said, Jimmy Church, I flew from Hong Kong to shake your hand. And I said, man, you don't know who I am. And you looked at me and you said, let me jump in right now. Right?
Let me jump in real quick.
Yeah, real quick. And I was like, wow, you do listen to the show. And you said, man, you have no idea. And so we've been friends ever since, but that's how it started. So I know that you respect the show and you know that what we're about. Plus, you're a veteran broadcaster over there yourself. And you kind of actually started, before us. So it's going to be a great conversation tonight. And now, okay, I've got a lot of questions, but first let me get something out of the way. You are in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in Hong Kong.
Now, let's clear some things up here, right?
Okay.
We have the China issue. We have Hong Kong. We have the British leaving, right? And so when that happened and they gave Hong Kong, I guess technically they gave Hong Kong back to China, but Hong Kong is a capital society, right? It's not communist, or is it?
No, it is not a communist. We are living in a special arrangement. Okay, we're supposed to be following the what it used to be. We are not in a communist system. Well, recently we have a lot of fight and we have a lot of argument, but I don't want to get into it yet.
Right.
Okay, we can get into it later, but we are basically we're back to China already.
Right.
But we are not in a communist system.
Right. And the reason why I'm asking that, because, over across the water there in mainland China, it's you have the government, watching everything that you do. Over in Hong Kong, do you have the freedom just to do whatever you want and you're not worried about, like this show, right? Or talking about things that we're going to discuss tonight. Are you free in Hong Kong to do whatever you want to do and you don't feel threatened?
Well, up to now, we have freedom to do anything we want. I have my show since 2008, and I don't have any trouble with that. Well, so far, what I can see, as long as we don't touch with the politics stuff.
Right.
And then you're free to go.
Right.
But if we try to, put our feet on politics or this kind of matters, and people will monitor. That's what I know. But up to now, here we still freedom. We still have freedom, but we don't know how long we will have. But if it has to come, it has to come. Right? Nothing we can do about it.
Right. And again, I want you to be comfortable too as well. I don't want to jump into an area that is not comfortable for you. And you already know I don't do politics on the show. But what I'm really concerned about is the conspiracies of ufology and the paranormal and the things that go underneath that can go back to maybe government suppression of UFO information or contact or military secrets. And do you have the freedom to talk about that, or does the government, worry about it?
Oh, that is something really special, because A lot of the foreigner keep asking me about what is that like in China when you talk about the UFO or the conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Did the government try to stop you, or well, I can tell you this is surprise. It's so surprised to everybody that China government didn't really stop us from doing this or doing the research. Okay, before I start, I have to say something to the audience that please, I have to apologize because English is not my native language. And believe me, when I speak in Chinese, I speak much faster. But for the sake of that people understand, and my accent is not too good, and my English is not so good. I learned my English basically watching Lethal Weapon 400 times.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah?
You sound great. So I want you to understand, don't even trip, man. Don't even think like that. Don't even go there. You're great, all right?
Okay, so if I say something, if you don't understand, then you can ask again, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
So, well, I think because I went up to a radio station in China. In China, the radio station belongs to the government, and I've been their guest for a whole year and talk about UFOs or alien abduction. And nobody stopped me. Even the host, even the station itself is from the government of Guangdong, is probably south area of China, pretty close to Hong Kong. And that is the official government's station. But I can be a guest and talk about UFO for the whole year or during the summertime. So they have no problem with that. They have no problem, and they even asked me to come back and say, okay, can you come back, Chuck? Can you come back again? Because our audience like your story. But, something you have to understand is we can talk about UFOs, but we cannot really talk about like ghost stories, like...
Really?
Really? Like ghost stories. Oh, yeah, you have to understand this is a communist country, and they don't believe in ghosts. They don't believe in God. They think this is superstitious. Okay, let me tell you one funny thing. Is Hong Kong, we can believe anything we want, okay? We can make any movie we want. So in Hong Kong, some movie company make a ghost story movie. When they want to launch it in China, they have to change the ending. Like a whole series of scary plots and story happening. And at the end, they usually put an ending like, okay, the actors wake up and everything is a dream.
Oh,
and you
no way.
Ending.
Wow.
You have to change the ending to launch the movie in China, mainland China, because they don't believe in ghosts. They don't believe in God. That is probably after the Cultural Revolutions and the communists take over. Or the religion is not allowed, or we can say they will be allowed under monitor.
Now, what about in mainland China itself? Is there a MUFON? Are there citizens groups that get together and research and investigate UFOs?
Yeah, but that is the funny thing is the UFO study is allowed in China.
Right, I've heard that.
Okay. You heard that, right?
Yes.
Okay, you have to remember one thing. This is a communist country. You cannot just simply form a group. This is illegal. No, you cannot just form a group like more than 20 people and form a group to do whatever. You cannot just do that. You have to apply from the government.
Wow.
And we have many UFO study groups or institute or community in China. Like almost every city, every province have the study groups. And those groups, you have to form the group, you have to get approval from China, from the China government.
Right.
And the China government actually approved that is because they treat the UFO study as a science study. It's not about paranormal. It's about science.
Well, and that's good, though. That's actually pretty cool. And so you have to play the party line. If you stay within the rules, you can go ahead and investigate UFOs, and you have to look at it in a scientific sense. That's actually pretty cool. I kind of dig that.
Oh yeah, even if you want to do your study and you need some help, the government can. I don't want to say the word they helping you, but they will have some arrangement to let you do the study easier.
Right, they'll allow you to do it. Well, let me ask you this. I don't know if you can answer this question. Is there an Area 51 in China where they quite possibly could take crashed saucers or craft or investigate or reverse engineer? Is there an Area 51 in China?
Okay, I believe there is. We heard a lot of rumors, in such space, in somewhere, they have almost like an underground base, like they put the craft or maybe the study in there. But it's not as specific as Area 51 because everybody know where Area 51 is.
Right.
I went to Area 51 twice. And people, all the citizens from the States can go to Area 51. You cannot go into the gates, but you can get there. There's the base inside, in the middle of the mountain groups. But in China here, we kind of have the ideas where it is, but it's never confirmed. Nobody really confirmed, as like the one in Area 51 in Nevada. People basically believe that. But in China, we kind of having rumors or having some people talk, okay, maybe this is the area they keep the spaceship or maybe the wreckage. It's not really a famous place in China, or it's not even a well-known place.
Now,
am I answering your question?
Yes, and I'm blown away by it that you would even answer that question. So it has to exist. It just has to. And this is the other thing, that the United States isn't the only place where aliens are crashing their crafts, right? This goes on around the world, and China is big. China's really big, and they have to do something with that technology. It's got to go somewhere. China has certainly made their advances not only in the space program with stealth technology, they radar, Kevlar, night vision. They have made all of those the same progressions that we have made through all the way through computers that we have here. So is the possibility there that they have had the same advantages with alien or ET technology and they have a facility to do that? I imagine that they do. And the way that they have their society set up, nobody's going to know where that base is, right? They have the ability to lock down that information. They can cordon off streets. Here in the United States, we can drive down any public road, right? We don't have those restrictions. But in China, I can only imagine if they don't want you there, you're not going to go and find it. It's that simple, right?
Yes, exactly. If they want to keep it in secret, you don't even know where the place is. But I agree with you because China have many sightings, and I'm pretty sure China have UFO crash cases. So they're gonna have to deal with the thing. They're gonna have to deal with the crash, deal with the wreckage, or even the bodies. So they have somewhere to put it, but it simply didn't. You won't know. You won't know where it is.
Do you know of any crashed UFOs and retrievals?
Yeah, many cases, many stories in China. Seriously.
Okay.
But it's not as famous as Roswell because Roswell becomes so famous because of movie, because of the paper, the news.
Radio.
But in China, even a UFO crash, people saw that. Maybe one or two people saw that. But, you have to understand people are poor in China. They are farmer. Even a UFO crash, so what? I still have to go back to the farm. Have to deal with my living.
Right.
So they don't really let's put it this way: they don't really interested in China people. Some people interested, but most of the people, they don't really care. And we don't have. As far as I know, we don't really have the back engineering technology like the States. They have. I know we have a lot of technology which is a back engineering from the UFO crash, right? Like laser, like the bulletproof, those kind of like night vision. Those are the technology from the alien craft.
Right.
But that is called back end engineering, right? The scientists try to do the things that piece of thing you got from the disc. From this flying saucer, you want to do it, so you ask the scientists to study to do it. But as far as I know, we don't have any back engineering. Maybe they have back engineering, but they don't release it to public, so we don't know.
Now, the way that China controls the media, the papers, the internet, they've got control of everything. They've got their own version of Google and Facebook and what is it, Alibaba, or what's the your eBay? I forget the name of it, but anyway, you guys control. You have your own versions of everything. Now, with the sightings and the shutdowns that have been happening with the airports over there in China, does that get reported on in the mainstream media? I mean, does the government actually announce a UFO has shut down China's airports?
Okay, that is, put it this way, they do it pretty clever way. They have the media to announce it, but you have to remember the media is also controlled by the government, right?
Right.
But the media did actually release the news. I mean, you're not going to believe that. Just last Monday, 20th of March, in international airport in how can I explain? In Sineo. Sineo is like a big capital. It's the one of the biggest airport in China. It's an international airport, China. We're talking about a very big airport.
Right.
I try to get some information.
Yeah, I saw the press release, and I talked about it here on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you saw the press release, right?
I did.
And there's a UFO on the top of the tower and stopped the airport from running. But that was not the first time.
No.
That was the third or the fourth time. Back before we have this year, 2nd of February at 10 p.m. we have they saw the lights. And free flight has to be pending. They cannot land until 1 hour later.
Right.
Okay, but the people inside the airport, they hear the staff in the airport. They said the UFO on top of us.
Oh man!
And people were screaming.
Right.
And I remember I sent you. Okay, that back then to 5th of January 2012. It was Friday. It had the film. I sent you the film.
I have it.
That was about 11 11 to 12 noon time.
Mm-hmm.
And UFO, like a mothership, it stopped right on the top of the airport. It stopped 80 flights.
Right.
Was canceled. Okay, you have to understand this is one of the very big airport in the East International Airport. And this airport, you're not going to believe that. This airport have the system, even the pilot cannot see nothing if the weather is too bad. This plane is still able to land on this airport because they have a very high technology system.
Right, automated landing and takeoff.
Yeah, they even have that kind of international system that you can land even the pilot is blind.
Right.
That's what they said.
Right.
And you're talking about 80 flight was canceled. Nothing can stop that. Nothing can be like this. And at that time, there is a government officer in a plane. They're about to land and they cannot land. They complain. They cannot believe how come the arrangement of the airport is such a mess. Okay, but what they hear is they have to do some military exercise. Okay,
right. Because
the Air Force did, they did send the Air Force try to, investigate what's going on. But one footage they don't know is a group of passenger waiting in the waiting room. They have a window. They saw there's a big craft outside the window. They film it.
I know. It's incredible. It's one of the best videos I've ever seen.
It is crazy, right? It's almost like a CG, like computer graphics.
Fake. Yeah, it looks fake. It's too, but the airport was shut down.
Yeah, but don't forget, this footage was reported by a government newspaper. I got this footage from the government website, the news website from the government. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So this is not a footage we can find from YouTube or from some, somebody who make the computer graphics, try to get some lights and, not like that. But this is an official announcement from some of the website.
Yeah, how big was that ship? I'm looking at pictures of it here. That thing, I know you said mothership, and Chuck, we got to take a break here in 60 seconds. But how big, put this in context for me, is this 1,000 feet across? Is it 500? It's obviously huge. How big is it?
Nobody can tell, but you can look at the video, it is big. But nobody can tell exactly how big that is. But I'm thinking about maybe 100 feet diameter.
Yeah, it's big. It's big. With this kind of government control, and here you are speaking right now as we go to the break. You can tell me yes or no. Do you think they're listening to us right now?
Well, maybe not. I am not too worried about that.
Okay,
as
cool.
Long as I'm telling the truth.
Okay, as long as you're telling the truth. Because with the internet, I just want to ask you really quick. Like with Google, you have Google in Hong Kong, right? But you don't have Google or the real Google in China. Or is your Google the same that's in China? How does that work?
Okay, we have another search engine in China we call Baidu. Something like that. Baidu, yes. Something like that. We can try, if you go up there and try to search, you find quite a lot of information up there. But they're all writing in simplified Chinese. That's what it is. I think that is because of the culture, because of the language, and the foreigner is very difficult or almost impossible to get UFO information.
Okay, this is what I want you to do during the break. We're going to take a break right here. Our guest tonight, Cheuk Fei, Philip, live from Hong Kong. Chuck, during the break, do a Baidu search on Jimmy Church Radio. Tell me what pops up when we come back. I'm just curious. I just want to know. We'll be right back. Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Cheuk Fei, live from Hong Kong. His website's right there, MJ13. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com and you can click on it and go check it out. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow Chuck at Cheuk Fei Radio right there on Twitter. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Hello, I'm Kat Deely, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Sobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Well, yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code TALK.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Cheuk Fei. Philip Cheuk Fei, live from Hong Kong. And we're discussing UFOs, ufology in China. We're going to go through some history, too, as well. And before we move on, Chuck, I've got to say we have a mutual friend, Maureen St. Germain, who was over there. Is she still there?
I think she left. She fly back to the States, I guess.
Oh, she's back
last week. Yeah, she's back last week.
She is the very best, and you know, she's a mutual friend between the two of us, and helped us get reconnected too as well. So I want to thank Maureen for that. She is she's one of the coolest people that I know.
She's amazing.
She's almost as cool as you, Chuck. So okay, now and again, thank you, Maureen. You mentioned Roswell. Now, I want to go back into some Chinese history here because you sent me a bunch of pictures. And in these pictures, there's one here that, for me, started me, and we're going to post it. It's called Ancient UFO. We're going to post this up right now in Twitter. When I first saw this picture, which was years and years and years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I first saw this picture, I had one of those holy crap moments. Now, over here, you've labeled it as 1942. I remember seeing this picture listed. They were trying to date the picture with some of the artifacts in you know, that it was 1905, it was 1913, it was 1920. You're saying that it's 1942. It doesn't matter. We have Roswell. You guys have this picture, and it is one of the most incredible UFO pictures ever taken in the history of ufology. But why do you date this as 1942? What do you know about this picture that we don't?
Okay, the picture is like a myth to everybody. As far as we know, some people said this is from Beijing. Some people say this is from Guangzhou, this is from Shanghai. Many different people people saying different things, and even the years is different. But as far as I know, this is the earliest UFO photos from China, because you are pretty sure this is in China. You can see the buildings, you can actually see the Chinese wording, and you can see the people who pulling the trolley, the
rickshaw
taxi back then.
Yes.
Rickshaw, yes. So this is China. This is in China, no doubt about it. And this is a UFO picture. The one I sent you is kind of blur. Right. But nobody knows about the date. As you said, some people named this 1902. Somebody named this 1942. I have a few people who study these pictures, and they both believe they all quite of them, few of them they quite believe this is 1942, but nobody can confirm that.
It is, and when you look at this blown up, and I'm blowing it up right now in my viewer, that is incredible. That's all you can say about the picture. That is something in the air. The first time that I saw it, when it was dated like 1910 or 1903, whatever it was, I remember going, well, that's before planes, right? And here this is clearly a disc shape with a dome on the top. People on the street are pointing at it. You can see everybody looking at it. It's right there. And the photographer was able to snap this incredible picture.
If this is a plane, this is flying real low and about to land. But this is a busy street, and the plane will not fly that low. It has to be something really big, or it has to be a plane really close.
Yeah. Like I said, we may have Roswell, but you guys have this.
We have more than that, actually. We have a lot of stories.
Well, let's get into some of this. And one of the things that I do want to talk about, so I want to go back a little bit, because we're talking about suppression and the government over there. Let's see. Oh, did you search my name in Baidu?
Oh, yeah, I do. This is funny. Okay. Now, in Hong Kong, we can access Baidu. In China, we can access Baidu as well. But the contents or the result we can search is different. Okay, in Hong Kong, Baidu, I can search your name, Jimmy Church, and Jimmy Church Radio. I have got your Twitters. I have got your YouTube. I have even got jimmychurchradio.com. And I even got Contact in the Desert.
Okay.
Jimmy Church.
Okay,
all right?
Cool.
Okay, but don't forget, in China, you cannot access YouTube. You cannot access Twitters.
Yes, right.
So basically, what we can find in China will be Contact in the Desert and jimmychurchradio.com. I'm not too sure about jimmychurchradio.com, but I think they can access there. But in the search engine, under the name of Jimmy Church Radio is the photos of Paul Stonehill. So basically, you're safe from now.
Yeah. Oh, that is great, man. That is so cool.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think they can find Jimmy Church Radio, but that's it. And Contact in the Desert.
But no
they won't be
YouTube.
able to get YouTube or Twitter.
Okay, suppression. And now, so speaking of suppression, one of the most fantastic, unbelievable things when it comes to Chinese history are the pyramids. And China is doing everything they can to hide this from us. So my first question is, and I hope you can answer this, why are they trying to hide these pyramids from us? What is it that they want to keep secret?
Okay, let me explain to you. Same as the UFO cases. I mean, the foreigner is finding very difficult or almost impossible to get the information is because of the language. I believe. As far as I know, China, is such a big country. They have many, many pyramids. I have sent you the second lot of pictures with a satellite, like a Google, maybe a Google map or maybe a satellite view is black and white picture with all these little tiny pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really close that, okay? They don't really block the area. You cannot go in, except one. But I will go to that one later. Okay. All these places, all these pyramids are all land in Xi'an. Xi'an is like, how can I explain? It's a capital in ancient China, okay? So all the emperor, they have their capitals there. All right.
Got it.
And we can go back to many, many years ago. Like we are talking about, 960, the year 960 to, 1279. We're talking about, let me think. We're talking about Han Dynasty, 156 BC.
Right.
We are talking about the Emperor of Qin.
Right.
259 BC.
Right.
I have to let people understand what kind of year that is. You may not know. We call it Han Dynasty. Han Dynasty is something like the year of the story of Mulan. Mulan of Disney.
Right.
Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have, of course.
Yeah.
I don't get my Chinese. I don't get my Chinese history from that, but we've all seen Mulan.
All right. Okay. All right. So that is long times ago, but they already have the pyramid, and all those pyramids are basically, we believe, are the grave of the emperor. Okay, but the problem is, even the people who live around that area, they don't know it's a pyramid because they think it's a little mountain.
And China's planning, is it true that they're trying to hide it with trees and dirt?
You can see the trees, you can see the dirt. Okay, I don't believe it is not like a building with bricks, like the one in Giza in Egypt.
Right.
They were more like they packed the soil, real pack into a pyramid shape. With maybe inside have some structure, but nobody knows. But some of the pyramid did actually open up for the tourists. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They have many, some big, some small. In Xi'an, the biggest one, the base area is almost the same as the one in Giza, the Giza pyramid, but it's not that high. And some small one is more or less like a small little hill. But when you look at it on the ground level, you don't look at it like a pyramid until you take a flight. Until you look at it on the top view like a bird. Like a bird view. And you will see this is a pyramid with like the Google photos I send you. They actually even have the coordinates. You can go on, I can send you the coordinate, and you can go to do the Google search and Google Map. You can find it from the satellite pictures. They are not really closing it for people to go there. But nobody really mentioned about it because next to this group of pyramid is one of the famous terracotta army of Emperor Qin. Like those
terracotta. Yeah.
So basically, the tourists all goes there. They don't really know about the pyramid until some guys, and until one of the author, his name is Hartwig Haldorf.
Yes.
The German.
Yep.
He wrote the book 1994, Divisa Pyramida. It is the meaning of white pyramid in China. He write this book, and people start to pay attention into it. And then if you go up to the internet, you find some people who actually go there and visit this pyramid. But one of the pyramid is, as far as I know, one of the pyramid is quite special. They call it a white pyramid.
Yes.
Nobody ever seen this. But this one may be kept in secret for some reason.
Is it because that the rumors that we've been hearing is that there is technology underneath it, mercury engines and things like this, and liquid mercury. Do you think
liquid mercury is real,
right?
But that is not the high technology. What I have in mind, and with some of the researchers, because in Han Dynasty or in Qing Dynasty, those emperor have contact with alien.
Right.
Have the report. It's an official report from the emperor those days.
Well, how does he say it? How does he address E.T.? Is it, the gods from the stars or the heavens, or does he literally say when he's talking about this that, these are visitors from, another planet? How does he refer to it?
Okay, in China, it's quite similar to some of the country. They see in UFO maybe the alien, like a humanoid, walk out from the craft, and somebody will put it as a Bible, put it as, this is the signal from the God in Western countries. But in China, we put it like Seleucus being, something like a being living on the sky, and protecting us like a religion.
Right. Right.
They're human shape, but they can do things. They have a supernatural power. But we don't use the word supernatural. We use it more like a fancy, like a fairy, this kind of description.
Right. Well, and because of that, how does the Chinese government in the educational system there, how do they refer to those kings and those leaders back then that may be referring to this? Do they actually allow this to be taught in schools?
Oh, yeah. They have the books. You can get the books everywhere, even in the internet from China. They have the book record all this, report all this sighting and all these contact cases, but they are writing in like a story, like a fairy story. So people these days look at it like, okay, this is a myth, this is a legend.
Right.
It may not be real, but if we study, especially the ufology, when we study this kind of case, we know this is not a story. This is not a make-up story like you see some creatures. This is a real report. But the people back then, they don't know how to explain. They will explain. We have a fairy, fly from the sky, sitting in a flying wheel, sitting in a flying stick.
Right.
Basically, it's a seeker-shaped UFO.
Right.
Flying wheels, like wheels in. You know what I'm talking about. Flying wheels is basically a flying saucer.
Sure.
And they even mention with sometimes they mention have a jumping sun.
Oh, really?
It's like a light craft.
Right.
And they have describe it as crow, like a bunch of crow.
Yeah,
landing.
crows. Yes.
And then inside the crowd, we have a fairy come out and taught us doing things.
Did you see, that reminds me, last year at Contact in the Desert, when we had our big mass sighting out there, did you see?
Oh, yeah.
Were you there for that?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
I was there.
So there's your dancing sun, right?
That is too technical for the Chinese people, I guess. For the Asian Chinese people, they will describe that as, I think they would describe it as a lighting, I think lighting ball. They will not know how to describe it.
Well, have you seen similar things over in China?
Oh, no, I don't. But I see many things in Hong Kong.
Right.
In Hong Kong actually have a lot of sightings. And in China, of course, have a lot of sightings, but they reported into the UFO community in China, the research institute in China, instead of reported to Hong Kong. But in Hong Kong, one of the best things in Hong Kong is we can collect information from China, from Taiwan, from Macau, even from the States, from different countries. we have more information in China, but in China, the difficulties, they have difficult to get information from other places.
Yeah, these pictures of these pyramids and the cluster, the groups shot, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pyramids in this shot. No, actually over here on the other side.
Actually, it's 17 or 18.
Yeah, holy crap. And then the shot from, you like that, don't you? Holy crap. The shot that you sent us, which is, let me open, I think this is it. No. There's another shot of, it's Pyramid 05. That image, Rita, put that up. Yeah, in this shot, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, looks like 10 taken from an airplane on the horizon. Rita, put up Pyramid 05 in Twitter. I want everybody to see that image. That's absolutely incredible. Now, before we go to the break, when we come back, I'm going to go through all of these cases that you have here, and we'll get these up in Twitter. But I can't get away from asking you the cities in the sky that have been all over the internet. Now, what is going on there?
I personally, I didn't really put study into it, but personally, I think that is not really real. It's not the real cases. Okay, put it this way: even in China, even in Hong Kong, the media they used to be they treat the UFO cases or this kind of paranormal cases as nutcase. It is not worth it to report. So during this day, have more UFO sightings, even have more UFO reports, and the media know they are not getting away with that, so they have to report it, but they don't know how to handle it. Okay, so sometimes they may report the cases, they may report the report as a fake news. They don't even know. Right. You know what I mean? In YouTube, have many different YouTubers. They make the CGI, the computer graphics UFO, right? But we also saw some media, some big media in the States. They report it as a real case. But we look at it, come on, this is more like a Millennium Falcon. How is it possible to be a UFO, right? But some of the media, they don't know how to deal with that. They don't know how to handle. So they may report a fake news. If you're asking me about the city in the sky, I read about the report, but it seems like the report, it happens a couple of days ago again. But I believe this is not real.
The images don't look, I don't think they're photoshopped, and there's too many different angles of it. So is it some strange phenomena where the city is reflected in the smog or in the fog or in the rain?
Yeah, maybe. In the real hot area, or especially the area with a lot of dust, that can be a reflection because of the temperature of the land, the ground area. They may have some image reflect into it. Maybe that is the case. But I don't believe there is a flying city in China here. No, we didn't have this kind of. I haven't really believed this. Put it this way.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, the pictures they're too good, right? I mean, obviously, it's not a city in the sky, right? Or is it? Or is it? Is it?
Could be a whole bunch of people who make pictures like this. This is very easy these days. Remember, we have UFO report like a cube, like something like a really complicated UFO in the sky with different angle in the reports news these days. You saw that, I saw that, everybody saw that. But we all know this is too complicated as a UFOs. No. So that is more like a Star Wars Millennium Falcon. So that won't be a real UFO, but they can easy to make it into different angle, especially these days.
For you, we're going to head towards a break here. You had I want to know about your first sighting. that started you into all of this. What was it, and what did you see?
Oh, you want me to tell you now? Okay.
Yeah, right now.
That was 13 years old. I was like a little kid. And those days we were poor. We don't have air condition. And there was summer. I remember after the dinner, me and my father and two of my sisters goes up to the rooftop of the building. In Hong Kong, we are all living in an apartment, like a building stuff. We're not having a house. Only the rich people can have a house. So we all go up to the rooftop, get some chill. And there was nighttime around 7:30 at night after the dinner. And suddenly I saw a ball, a real big ball floating in the air on the opposite side of the mountain. It was silent. And it's an orange color, but it's very difficult to describe because inside the ball, it has something moving. It was like some liquid in there, or maybe like some worm in there is moving slowly inside. Okay, you can imagine you have a cappuccino and you stir it, and then you watch it turning. Okay, right. There's something moving inside the ball, but it was orange color. Inside is something like red, sometimes yellow, and I was kind of scared. So I told my dad, okay, Dad, let's go. But my dad said, no, this is something weird. I want to stay and watch. And we stand there with my sister and my father and look at this thing like maybe 5 minutes. It keeps turning and turning, seems like it's searching of something on the opposite side of the hillside. It's not too far, maybe 500 feet away, right. I guess.
Right.
It was turning, but it was silent, no sound at all. But it is not a helicopter because in this distance, we definitely can hear the helicopter, especially helicopter have blinking lights, right? But it doesn't have blinking lights, only a ball. Okay, you try to imagine it's like a Japanese comic, like the Dragon Ball.
Right. Dragon Ball Z. Right.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, we all know that. But without a star inside, but with something moving inside, it make a few turns, try to search something, I guess, and then it slowly move away and disappear at the backside of the mountain. And I was like, wow.
Right.
What is this? I asked my dad. My dad don't even know. Okay, if I'm a kid, I don't know what it is. That is simple because I am a kid. But my dad, he was like 30 years old, I guess.
Right.
30 or 40 years old. He was a cop. He used to be a cop. So he used to be a policeman. So he will know what it is, right?
Supposed to.
Even he doesn't know what that is.
Right.
Nobody knows what that is. But the funny thing is, after the sighting, even I asked my sister these days, they totally forgot about the whole thing.
Oh, really?
I asked my dad, they forgot about the whole thing. I am the only one who remember everything.
Oh, that's crazy. I want to know more about it. Let's take a break right here. I know that's an amazing sighting. Our guest tonight, Cheuk Fei, Cheuk Fei from Hong Kong. And we're going through all of it. UFOs in China. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Chuck right after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hey there, quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, improved memory? Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at naturesyouth.com. Naturesyouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top-quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com. naturesyouth.com.
I was introduced to this remarkable product, Balance of Nature Fruits and Veggies, and to say it's amazing is an understatement. Balance of Nature provides the nutrients of 9 to 11 servings of 31 different whole ripened fruits and veggies per day, and the cost to the consumer for 9 to 11 servings is about 22 cents per serving, as opposed to over $1 in the store. Balance of Nature Fruits and Veggies helps boost the immune system by over 720%, and they also provide a health coach for you at no charge to guide you with any questions you may have. And you can also visit their website for testimonials on balanceofnature.com. So take steps to give yourself better overall health and call them now, toll free, at 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go to balanceofnature.com right now. Make sure to let them know you heard it here by using promo code TALK for a special discount. That's balanceofnature.com and use promo code TALK.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back to Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, live from Hong Kong, Cheuk Fei is here. Philip Fei. Cheuk Fei. He's just Chuck. Chuck, check this out. You just said that your dad didn't remember it and your sister didn't remember it. I had the same experience. I had the sighting off of Monterey back in 95, 96. It was a black triangle, and I was with 3 friends, and we're taking pictures of each other at the beach. And somebody pointed up and said, "What is that?" And I took a picture, and it's a crazy black pyramid thing, 60,000 feet in the air. Crazy picture. But last year, the year before, 2 of those 3 guys I was with, and I go, "Man, don't you, we were at a music thing. It was a music. And I go, "Man, remember that?" And one of them said, "Yeah, that was crazy, that black dot going across the sky." The other friend goes, "Dude, what are you talking about? Don't you?" And we were like, "Don't you remember the thing?" And we were taking it. "No, man, no, I don't remember it." And it was just really funny. He did not remember it. So there you go.
Yeah. This thing happens quite often. I have my friend, they were twin sisters. They were taking the ferry, crossing the harbor between the Hong Kong side to Kowloon side. She was my good friend. She was one of my partner in the other program, and they were twin sisters. They both saw a big craft, like, how can I explain? This is a big craft that can cover the stars. You cannot see the star. You can only see a big silhouette of like a disc silhouette.
Right.
When they took the ferry, probably 10 years ago, they both saw that with their cousins, with their friends. They all saw that, but only both of them remembers. All the other children cannot remember these things. They don't have zero. They have zero memory at all. They don't remember anything at all, but they both remember this together.
Right. Yeah, and Rita and I, we had another sighting together in the car, and I remember it going straight down, and she remembers it coming down and then turning right. And it didn't turn right, man. It went straight down into the ground. That's what I saw. She remembers it turning to the right. But you know what? We saw what we saw. She remembers it one way. I remember it another. Who knows what actually, really happened? It's fascinating. What about, let me ask you this. What about the Men in Black? Does China have their own version of the Men in Black?
As far as I know, no. Even the people who have sightings, who have abduction cases in China, they send the UFO research groups to study. They don't really stop these people from talking. Nobody come up to you and say, "Don't you ever talk about this? This is a secret program. You are not allowed to say anything. We know where you live." No, nobody say anything like this. We don't have a Man in Black at all.
And
we don't have Will Smith in here.
What about in Hong Kong? Is it different?
No. Different. Hong Kong government, they don't even care about the UFO cases. They were too busy to deal with the UFO cases, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding. They've got work to do. And what about Chinese television? Now, you have mainland China, you have Hong Kong. So do you guys have like Hangar One and Ancient Aliens and stuff like that? Are those popular in Hong Kong?
Yeah, we have this, and the people who study UFO are actually quite official here in China. I'm talking about China government, mainland China. They can do study. One of the cases, the guy's name is Chow. He's a farmer, an abductee. He's been abducted a few times and traveled quite far. I'm talking about 745 miles into another city. And one of the UFO researcher in Beijing, he go to find this guy. He go to research his case. He brought him to do lie detecting. He brought him to do hypnosis. They even brought him to do the suspect drawing because he saw a little girl was inside the craft.
Okay, really quick. Let me jump in right here.
Jump in real quick.
Let me jump in real quick. Rita, we're going to do the Chow pictures now. Let's start with 1, 2. Let's go in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 7 and 8. So let's do them all in order, Rita. Let's start with 1. And we'll start with 1. So that's him taking a lie. Is he wired up for a lie detector here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lie detector. Okay. This guy is named Chow Gong, but is a name, but make it simple for people to understand. We call him Chow.
Okay.
Chow is a farmer. Okay. No. Chow is a principal of a secondary school. But okay, he remember one night in 1999, 11th of December at nighttime, probably around midnight, he suddenly hears sounds inside the house. And when he wake up, he saw 2 humanoids standing right in front of the bed. Okay, but they were wearing a silver cloth, like aluminum foil, something like that. But the funny thing is their face, they don't have the color of flesh. They're kind of pale. But their eyes and their mouths are basically a circle shape. It's kind of freaky, But the funny thing is, these 2 beings bring Chow, leave the house, like most of the UFO contact abduction case. They walk through the house, walk through the wall, walk through the window, and go out. But the funny thing is, they don't get on the craft right away. They fly together. 3 of them flying together, like the Richard Donner movie, the Superman. Flying with Lois Lane. Flying on the sky. They're flying on the sky like this. until they fly 745 miles to another city close to the seaside, close to the coast area. And they saw a big craft like a ping pong paddle, and that is as big as a football field.
Which is
child number 4.
That's picture number 4.
Picture number 4.
Okay, we've got these going here. We've got number 2 up. We've got number 3 up. Rita, let's get to number 4. That is an incredible description of a craft. And ping pong paddle, I get that, but that's not what's fascinating here with me. It's the ribs. It's the lines and the overall shape. And we're going to do that in just a second. We'll have that up here on Twitter. So how big did you say this was again?
It was as big as a football field.
Yes. Because
it's a big one.
Now, your descriptions here in the image are in Chinese. So over on the right-hand side where you've got the up and down arrows in Chinese, what are you describing there? On the handle side?
The exit and
entrance.
Basically the doorway.
I got you. And the little balloon up at the top with the Chinese writing in there, what are you describing?
I have trouble to read it here, but
that's okay. All right,
I cannot read it. I cannot read this.
Okay, so
I can only read the top is. It basically is a caption of this picture is child go draw this and say this is what it looks like.
Yeah, so he drew this himself.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, man, it's just a crazy shot. Okay, back to the story. So he sees the craft, and then what happened?
This is going to be funny. Okay, he sees the craft. It's land in a country area, with not many people around. They land on this craft and get into the craft. And once get into the craft, he saw a little girl. There's a little young girl in there, but he can tell this girl is sick. Is really sick, really pale, and not in a good health. She's not in a good shape.
Right.
Okay, and the alien, this two being, I put it this way, the being put the palm into the back of his neck.
Which we have that picture too. So Rita, keep them going. Go to 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, there you go. She's got these going. He
saw the girl, and the being put the hand onto child's back and on the back of his neck, and he felt like something like an electric shock. He feel like how can I explain? He feel like something warm flowing into his body.
Right.
And then after that, after some time, very short time, and then the being give him some kind of gesture, or they really never talk. They give him some kind of gesture or give him some kind of indication that tell him to put his hand into this sick girl's back. So he do that, and once he do that, he feel the electric shock is floating from his arm, from his hand, from his palm to the girl's back. And it was probably few minutes, and then stop, and then the being's brainchild leave the craft, and the girl is still in the craft.
Right.
Okay, and that is the end of his testimony. He went back to his bedroom, and he wake up his wife, and his wife think, "Are you having a sleepwalking? Are you crazy?" or that kind of thing. Normal people think he's crazy.
Right.
But one of the UFO researchers in Beijing, his name is Xiang. Xiang is a very serious investigator. I met him. He's a really cool guy as well. So he go to find Chow and try to do the investigation. He put him into a lie detecting. Okay, I have to let you know. He put him in the lie detecting, which is the pictures you saw.
Right.
In 2000. Year 2000, August 30th of August in Beijing. But the department who do this lie detecting is basically police department. It's a law enforcement department. Jimmy, you cannot bring anyone to a law enforcement. You cannot bring anyone to Los Angeles LAPD and ask them to do the lie detecting for you. You cannot do that.
Ain't going to happen. No.
Not going to happen, right?
No,
Not
right.
even in Hong Kong. So if somebody who study UFOs and bring a contactee, or maybe he claims he's a contactee to a police department and do the lie detecting, and the police department help them to do it. So the story is they have arrangement to the police department, and the police department help them to do it. Okay, and then after that, Zhang put Chow to hypnosis. And that proved he didn't lie. He didn't lie. He told what he saw. Okay, but Zhang isn't really satisfied because that can only prove that Chow believed what he saw. But it doesn't mean he saw the real craft or see the real alien or the real UFO. So Zhang fly all the way to the city that I mentioned, the see that craft, the ping pong paddle craft.
Right.
He fly all the way to that city and try to locate this girl. So he brings Chow to that city and find another police department to do the suspect drawing, which is the Chow number 5. The picture is Chow 5.
Yep.
It was the drawing. They trying to find her. And then it ends up they find a girl, which is Chow number 6, the real girl. This girl don't know anything about it. He doesn't even remember Chow. He doesn't even remember he been abducted. She's not like a normal girl, okay? She doesn't even remember anything. But the thing is, from the girl's back and the neck, back of the neck, and also back of also the back of like the hip area, they have scars. She have scars, and she have a triangle star at the back of her hip. And those are the area where Chow put the palms into this girl's back and heal her. So basically, he remembered the alien passed him the power, and he got the power to heal this girl. Okay, it seems like a crazy story to everybody until Zhang find this girl, and this girl had been sick for some times and suddenly recover. You know, and the time she recover is about the same time Chow being abducted.
The suspect picture is pretty crazy, too. It's pretty close.
Pretty close, right?
Yeah.
This is the angle of this girl of the picture on Chow 6, but have another pictures. I remember I saw another picture. It looks almost the same.
Yes.
Almost the same.
Yes.
And don't forget, this color picture of this little girl is a couple of years after the incident. So she's grown up a bit already. But the face still look pretty much the same.
And now we've got everything posted up here now. The shot of the implant or whatever that was done below her neck, that's picture number 7. You can tell she's wearing the same shirt, right? So, and here in number 8, with the mark that is right where I don't know what area of the body it is. That on the base
of back of the hip,
right?
The hip area, like
it's hard to describe, but yeah, on the back, on her back, on the left side of her, close to her hip. That's
close to her hip.
Now, what is that mark that is down there?
The second one you mentioned is basically a triangle mark.
Okay.
Like a triangle mark, and the one behind the neck is like a scar, like a scar with injection.
Yeah, you can tell.
Something like that. You can tell it's like a circle shape.
Yep. That's why I called it an implant.
But they as far as they know, they did the CT scan. They don't find any implants in there. But that is the area where Chow put his palm on the girls to put the energy back to the girls. Probably the girl is dying or maybe sick, and you can treat the story like the humanoid actually bring child to save this girl. But why is child? Why is this girl? Nobody knows.
Right. Incredible.
But this is one of the cases in China. The China UFO researchers, they put really serious attitude to study this case. This is one of the cases, and this is not the only one. I have another 2 cases. It's crazy. It's way too crazy. You know, one guy is named Wang. He also disappeared a few times, but every time he disappeared, he end up in another city, another area which is real far. You cannot just go there by plane. You cannot go there by taking a bus or taking a drive there in 10 hours. You have to drive 20 hours. But he already in Shanghai in 10 hours later and have report because the Shanghai Police Department called back to his hometown and he tried to clarify. They try to clarify whether this guy is actually from this hometown. But he get there in 10 hours, which is impossible, and he's a farmer. We have many cases like this in China.
What is, it's just fascinating here. Let's go with Huang. And I've got 1, 2, 3 images. I have Huang 1, 2, and 3. Rita, let's go ahead and get these posted up. And the first one looks like he's, what's going on in picture number 1?
Okay, he is describing things. Huang is he's a farmer. Okay, he usually live quite normal life, like farming. But all this year, he had many different abduction experience, starting from 1977. He basically disappeared. And then the next morning, he's sleeping at home and then disappear until the next day. He suddenly reappear, in 1,000 kilometers away.
What does he say? What does he say is going on while he's gone?
Okay, the funny thing is the same thing like the child case. He met 2 person. Humanoid. He said those looks like a Chinese person, normal person with an army uniform. Okay, but they were flying together. They're flying together like Superman, like the child case, and they fly to the other area, and then. And he lost his consciousness. He feel faint. He feel dizzy, and it happens not only once time, 3 times or 4 times. He flying from Beijing to Tianjin. They flying from Nanjing to the other area like Changchun. That is impossible. But he get there, and. The funny thing is not only he said this story, but they have the report in those areas. He report into the police station and he said he doesn't know where this area is. And
oh, man. So it's all documented.
Documented. They're all documented. They have report. And even the UFO researchers can go and pick up this report these days. So that's why I'm saying... Shang went to do all this research with the government approval. The government actually approved him to do this research. Otherwise, he won't be able to do it. And I have a report holding in my hand from Zhang about all this report. I'm talking about this report is something really serious. They have formula of the calculating...
how far it took and how long it would take and just make it impossible. The picture number 3 where he's has his eyes closed in the chair. What's going on?
Let me look at. Okay, he is doing the regression.
Yep.
In north, in a hospital, a big hospital in north area.
Did he? So he he was able to confirm, again, just like Chow, that it was alien, it was ET, and there were beings there, and he was able to witness that and recall all of this.
No, he recalled not only alien. He didn't recall alien, but he reported 2 Chinese person with a uniform, army uniform, bring him flying everywhere.
Oh, I didn't catch that part. I thought that those were 2 alien beings. He's saying it was the military?
Is dressing like a military uniform. Ooh. It looks like Chinese.
Right.
And flying like a 26 years old young man.
Right.
Bring him everywhere.
Let's go to, do we have enough time? Okay, let's jump ahead and let's go to Meng 1 and 2.
Meng 1 and 2. Meng is another very famous case, and this Meng is still alive. But he basically not really want to talk about it anymore. But he's a contactee as well. And he contacted quite a few different aliens. I put it this way. I show you this picture is not about his story. It's interesting. I told you this picture because all these 3 cases are the most famous UFO alien abduction case in China. And the story are pretty much the same as most of the contact case we hear in like Travis Walton or maybe James Sparks or maybe... Betty and Bonnie Hughes, they pretty much the same experience, except they were flying on the sky instead of get on to the craft. So these are the cases. These pretty normal cases to us, like they saw the alien and bring him to some places, do especially Mang. Mang did have sex with the alien. He mentioned he had sex with, what can I explain? Like,
he had sex with an alien. I get
have sex with the alien.
Right.
Have sex with the alien. He mentioned he had sex with the alien, but he never really, put it this way, never really get into the details of it. But he mentioned he got a lot of spiritual information from him.
Have you met him? Have you interviewed him yourself?
No, I met Zhang, the guy who studied this. He doesn't really want to talk about it anymore.
Right.
But he goes up to the TV and do a lot of interview. And those TV programs are playing in CCTV. I'm talking about the government channel of TV. China government.
Right. Now, we're going to take a break right here, Chuck. We need to. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the Sky Train. This, everybody, you just get ready. I don't even know how to, I'm going to leave this to Chuck, but it's pretty cool. Now, talk about the government saying that it's okay to talk about UFOs. We have SkyTrain, and we're going to discuss this next. This is Fade to Black. We have Cheuk Fei live from Hong Kong. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
KGRA Radio. Intelligent talk.
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Would you like relief from muscle pain, headaches, and discomfort to sleep better, have more energy during the day, and just feel naturally amazing? Fibromalic can help. Its blend of malic acid and magnesium can provide pain relief and comfort for those who experience fibromyalgia. It helps your body absorb more oxygen, and it works quickly for a significant reduction in pain within 48 hours, all without a prescription. Ask for Fibromalic at health and vitamin shops or shop fibromalic.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn
it. This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Cheuk Fei, live from Hong Kong. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow Chuck at Cheuk Fei Spooky is what he is on Twitter. What? That's pretty cool, actually. Chuck, let's go to this sequence of pictures here. SkyTrain.
All right.
And
the SkyTrain.
Yes.
This is pretty amazing story. Up to now, nobody can explain that. So the only thing you can explain is a UFO phenomenon. Everything happens on the 30th of November, 1994. The area located in Guiyang is somewhere in the south area of China. It's a big city, but also have a place with the country area with trees. It's a huge area with a countryside. So it was about midnight time, around 12 o'clock. And those people who work there, and they hear the sound like a train in the sky. They don't see anything at all. But they hear the sounds like a train, like the engine sound.
Right.
But it's come from the sky. And then later on, some people saw the red light and the green light. They were flying, they're basically flying like a train. It's not like a normal UFO shape, like a disc shape. It's more like a cylinder shape, but it's not a seeker shape. It's like two compartment of train, flying in the sky, and then it passed through a few minutes, and then after a few minutes, the pine tree area in the hillside, all the trees are snapped down. Something hit to the trees, and the area put it this way, the area of the tree which fell down is about 400-acre area. Crazy. And those trees are not small. They're talking about the pine tree with 20 meters as the diameter.
Right. Huge.
And those huge tree, and the tree, you can see the pictures. All the trees are snapped, and nobody knows why. But the thing is, in that area somewhere, when people live there, some other area close to this forest, they have people who report the metal or even them. How can I explain? There is a truck with all this metal, the steel, all these building materials load on that truck. And the truck is actually moved a few meters, not few meters, I'm talking about like maybe 40 meters, 20 meters away. But the truck is stopped there, no driver. The engine is not starting. But after the train moved, the truck moved 20 meters away. It seems like something like a magnetic, suck the metal and pull the metal in some area. And nobody can explain what it is. We have witnessed. The witness saw two group of strong lights, and they hear sounds. And also one of the guy who reports he also almost sucked to the air by this train. Okay, so this is a report from the people, but when you go up to the picture, you saw all these trees. They are not small trees. And it all happens in like a few seconds. It's not like a long time. You can see one of the pictures, Sky Train number 3. If you look at the logo at the corner, which is cctv.com, this is a government TV station.
Right.
And they report this. So now you understand, they're not really stopping us from talking about it. They let us study because they also want to study. They want to study the UFO phenomenon.
It goes on forever. You can see all of the trees are snapped at the same spot, 3, 4, 5 feet off of the ground. And it reminds me, of Tunguska, of what went on in Russia. Yeah. It's very, very similar. This is huge.
Huge area.
Yes.
Also, I want to...
let's talk about, before I'm going to cut you off.
Okay.
Picture number 4, which is a banner, describe a billboard describing the area, but there's ET right there. There's a gray up in the left-hand corner, and then in the right-hand corner, there's a flying saucer with pictures of the incident in the lower right-hand corner. Tell me what this banner actually says.
Okay, the banner is actually report the story of the whole cases with the pictures. But forget about the ET, forget about the craft. Because it happens like this, even we have a translation books from the States, like Communion. We may have the books from Eric Deniken, the history is wrong, those kinds of books in China.
Right.
But after the translation, because the art director who do the cover design, they don't know anything about UFOs. They don't know anything about ETs. So they want to redesign the pictures. They pick the ETs they have in mind. They pick the spaceship they have in mind and put it on the cover. So basically make the whole thing becomes like a joke for a foreigner. But the story inside are real.
Is this who's paying for this banner?
I have no idea.
Well, you know what I mean? Is it? I mean, this is in mainland China, so for a banner like this to be put up, if a private citizen is paying for it, then the government says it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. I think it's the government put in there, and also if you look at SkyTrain number 1, there is a play. It's named as Airstream Car Site. Okay, forget about it. The English translation is weird, but the Chinese is actually the site of the SkyTrain with an arrow, so direct you to the direction you can look at it.
Fascinating. I'm just sitting here looking at it now. The last picture number 5. Now, when I talk about Tunguska and the similarities between the two events, look at picture number 5, because that is timber by the acre laying down on its side. I don't know what could have caused this, possibly a meteor, but that wasn't what was described by the witnesses, was it?
Yeah, if that is a meteor, then you may find it the wreckage, right? You may find the pieces and it can tell, okay, these kind of pieces. A meteor is very familiar for Chinese people. We have the meteor stone we can sell in the China market is very common. So this is definitely not a meteor. And even if a meteor hit to this area, it will not, put it this way, this area will be destroyed. You won't destroy just the tree, right? Mm-hmm. If a meteor hit to this area in 400 acre, so this we're talking about a meteor that can make a big crater like the one in Arizona, right? Mm-hmm. It won't be like this. It won't have another trees still surviving. You won't have the truck. You won't have the other buildings around. And if a meteor can hit 400 acre of pine tree down, those witnesses will not survive.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I do.
It would be a disaster. It would destroy the whole area. You won't have any tree left.
Right. It's a pretty incredible set of pictures. I mean, I don't know how we would handle this in the United States, for instance. And I don't know how the government would have. I don't know what they would say or how they would try to explain it. I don't know if they would allow, and I don't know if they would allow us to say that it was, UFOs. No, I just don't know. I think we would handle it completely differently. With the Soviet Union and Tunguska, that was something that was seen and felt all over Europe, right? That lit up the sky. And it was in such a remote area that it was difficult to research. But the photographs were there were witnesses and so forth. But how do you explain that? How do you explain it?
Okay, the only thing I can explain it is probably a UFO or maybe a big craft flying over that area or maybe hit some trees. Maybe it lost control. Maybe it just, I don't know, maybe it just happened like this. Just hit some trees and flying away. But that is not a normal UFO we saw. It's just like a train. It's shaped like a train with songs, right?
Right.
So it's pretty unusual. This UFO is pretty unusual. Usually we hear the UFO without sound.
Right.
Silence.
Right.
But this one have the sound of the train. But you cannot explain a train flying on the sky.
You sent me a video before we start to run out of time. You sent me a video that is time-stamped 1995.
It's a famous one.
Yes, of the guy jet skiing. Now, I've never seen this video before. Where was the video taken? And I'll help you describe it. But I have never seen a UFO video of that quality before. That is crazy. Where was it shot? And tell us about that video.
Okay, this area is shot in Hong Kong. We call this Repulse Bay. In Hong Kong, it's a tourist area. It's a beach with many people go there swimming, and you see a lot of activities like boat and all these spots in the water spots on people playing around. And it was 1995, and somehow people upload this video to the YouTube, and then the other people who repost it and repost it and repost it. Nobody know who is the owner, but it seems this is the video of somebody who recording the normal tourist activities and suddenly realize something in the sky, and then he zoom in to that things and it becomes a diamond-shaped UFO. And this is real because this is a video.
Right.
it was a video digitalized to digital files, computer files, and upload to YouTube. Nobody knows who do this. Nobody ever come out and say, okay, I filmed the UFO. Nobody. Even up to now, nobody know who is the owner of this video. But this is a real deal.
Now, what the video is, I don't know if we can get this posted up. Would we have permission to post this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we in Hong Kong also. We have permission to post it.
Okay.
Because nobody claims he's the owner of it.
Okay.
The owner of the copyright.
The video is. I'm going to try to describe this the best that I can. It's a guy on a jet ski. He's being filmed by somebody, maybe his family or whatever, and it's a large. You can tell it's a tourist spot. There's lots of boats. There's a lot of activity going on, a few jet skis, and he's having his fun on a jet ski. And then the camera, and you can tell in the video that it's video transferred from video to digital, so it looks really crappy. It looks really cool, right? Okay, yeah. So, and that's what makes it so authentic, right? And so anyway, the camera pans up and zooms in, and then in the sky, you described it as a diamond. It looks like, to me, like a square. It's orange. It's bright orange with a house top on it. I don't know how to explain it, but like an arrow. It looks like an arrow, a blocky arrow glowing in the sky right there in front of everybody. And it's a shocking video because it doesn't look like. Oh, Rita got it posted. Okay, here it is. Here it is, 1995. I'm going to retweet this so everybody can watch this video. This is a holy crap moment right here. This is, I mean, I watched this. It was funny because Rita was in her office, and she goes, "Are you watching these?" And I'm like, man, that second video is absolutely nuts. Okay, so there it is. I've got it tweeted up. I want everybody to see this.
Okay, and then one funny thing is we have one of the guy who study. Are you playing it? Oh.
Yes, I'm playing it right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I can go ahead. Okay, I have one of the guy who studied exopolitics from Michael Sala.
Yep.
He basically saw the same thing the other day, the same kind of craft in the south area. It's pretty much the same area of Repulse Bay.
And what part of China is this?
This is Hong Kong, in Hong Kong area. This is where I live.
Okay, now I've froze it. Now I remember exactly what I was seeing. Okay, yeah, I could see you saying diamond. I described it as an arrow, so it's a square with a
on the top.
Yeah,
square on the top and like an arrow pointing on the ground.
Down. Yeah, and it's bright orange yellow. Crazy. This is. I don't even know how to describe it. It's one of the best UFO videos I have ever seen. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that this craft doesn't happen once. And other times, a few years ago, my friend who studied exopolitics from Michael Sala, who saw the same thing, same kind of color, same kind of thing. But he's a foreigner. He saw it and he was so shocked, and he emailed me right away. He said, "Cheuk Fei, I saw this thing. I cannot believe it. I find it on YouTube. But this is exactly the same craft I saw back then. It's not the same day, but he saw it a few years ago. It's the same craft, same kind of craft. He's pretty sure about that. And we have many sightings actually in Hong Kong and China. I have reports. I have sighting reports almost every week. Believe me, I have sighting reports almost every week. We saw cigar shape. We saw V shape like the one in Phoenix Lights.
Right.
We have report of the normal disc. We have report of lights, like a formation lights flying around. We have reports of a lighting circle, like a circle shape, but inside is empty. But outside is a green light circle, and few of them flying in the sky, and behind the crowd. We have sightings, crazy, I cannot believe we have sightings here. But people don't believe it because most of the Hong Kong people, they look at their phone, and we have many buildings covering the sky, and nobody even spend a minute to look up the sky. But if you spend a minute to look up the sky, you will see things.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
And we have some cases in Hong Kong, we call it sense lock. You're familiar with the term sense lock?
Yes.
Okay, you have a sense. You suddenly know you have to look at the right for no reason. But if you look at the right side, you saw the craft is there.
Right.
We have many cases like this.
Right. And now, really quick, because we're going to head towards the bottom of the hour.
Right.
With the airport video, we're going to get this posted up here too as well. I'm watching this. You can hear it, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want you to be distracted here with this, but this video. Let me pause it because I know that you can hear it. The audience can't. By the way, they can't hear. That video, when I first saw it, I don't know how to clarify this in my mind. I don't know if I'm trying to convince myself I'm seeing a drone. Rita, it's a UFO video. It's the close airport in China, number 4. That video clearly shows something flying past and below everything at the airport. You see it from above, which you don't normally see with a video. Now, the thing is, it doesn't have a regular shape to it, but it looks like it's got little landing gear. I don't even know how to describe it because it doesn't look like a drone. It doesn't have any propellers. It doesn't have any fire, flames, smoke. It doesn't have anything that we would normally attribute to a UFO, a classic UFO shot, or a drone, or a helicopter, or an airplane. It doesn't look like it. It looks like a rock. It doesn't look like it should be flying, right? Am I making sense here? I want to make sense. You can't make sense.
Are you talking about a UFO closed airport in China, recent 8 to underscore 15? Are you talking about that one?
Yes.
Okay, that one. The funny thing is we have the testimony from a police officer. And the police officer, if you look in the middle section of the video, you saw this police officer giving his testimony.
Yes.
What he said is he basically didn't see anything like this. He never saw anything like that. But don't forget, he is the police officer who he reports his duty in the helicopter. So that's why he can capture this shot from the helicopter flying above these objects.
God, that is the craziest video ever, man.
And this video playing in a Chinese government channel.
Yes, it's the news. You can see the lady reporting on it. I remember when I saw this last year or 2 years ago, whenever I saw it, I was as blown away then as I am now. It's about as incredible as it gets.
Yeah. You will understand more if you look at the Xichang Satellite Launch Center pictures. This is a satellite launch center. It's a scientist, from the government. They launched the satellite of China. But if you look out, the building is like a ball-shaped building. But if you look out the building, you see some statues. But I don't know, Jimmy. If you look at the pictures, you tell me what you saw. If you look at the picture, you saw those statues. You tell me they are wearing. It's basically a gray with big eyes and wearing a Chinese traditional dress.
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. There's no other way to describe it.
In the middle of it is a guy who holding an arrow and shoot the sky.
Right.
Okay, that is a legend story because he doesn't. It happens is at those days have 2 suns. It's too hot, so this guy used an arrow to shoot one sun down. Okay, this is a legend.
Right.
But all the other 4 things you look around, the stature is not human being. Is not a creature we saw. This is more like a creature, like a gray alien, with big eyes, no nose.
Yes.
But they were wearing traditional Chinese dress. How do you explain this? But this is a government's facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a satellite launching center.
Right.
You don't see an alien structure outside of Kennedy Space Center, right?
No,
you don't see that.
No.
But this happens in China. So the attitude of China government, they actually encourage the citizen to go study it, okay? Because they treat it as a science subject.
What does it say on the awning above the door?
On
the satellite launch center.
Oh, this is basically the name of the building. It's like the Sichuan satellite launching center. This is the name of it. It's one of the office. So I show you this picture because you see the little structure on the right side, right bottom corner of the picture.
Yep.
And then the other pictures is show you the front wheel of them. So you tell me what that is. I don't know what to explain to people. This is not a creature we know. This is something
it's an alien. What else do you want to describe this as?
I don't know. What else? This is the only thing I can tell. Different species. Some of the species like gray. Some of the species like fish. Some of the species even you don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, the one in the lower right-hand corner, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. Well, the upper right-hand corner, that's an alien butt with horns and some crazy tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty...
This is happening.
That's crazy. You want to hang on for a few minutes and do a little overtime?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's. I want to keep you for about 10 more minutes because I want to go through the UFO chart that we have here too. I'm going to get that up and posted. What a great show tonight, man! And I can't wait to see you at Contact in the Desert. It's going to be great to hang out with you and go hang out with Melinda Leslie and go see those the night vision. I can't wait to do that with you. Our guest tonight is Cheuk. Oh, hold on, we're taking a break right here. Cheuk Fei. Out of Hong Kong live. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Cheuk right after this break. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had gout in both my knees, and it's gone.
Well, I'm pretty stupid. I should have ordered it 15 years ago. Best thing I ever got in my... It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life.
He had eczema on his hand, and it cracked for years. He did anything from doctor, every cream, everything. And 3 months on the veggies and fruit, it was gone.
They're just awesome. They keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. Everything is just perfect.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Call now, 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code TSL.
Would odors, mold, and mildew describe your basement or crawl space? It doesn't have to be that way. Transform them into a fresh, healthy, usable one with the technologically advanced Wave Moisture Control Units. The computerized operation maximizes moisture control and also expels harmful radon, combustion gases, and numerous other pollutants. Dehumidifiers are old technology that do nothing for air quality and waste energy. Wave units are intelligent, self-monitoring, do not need maintenance, and will save you hundreds in electricity. Wave units are still running effectively effectively over 15 years. They've been tested and installed in public and military housing and by property managers nationwide. Buy a unit now, and if your home is not fresher and drier, you can return it for a full refund for up to 12 months. What have you got to lose? Call now. 1-888-618-WAVE. 1-888-618-WAVE. Or visit mydryhome.com. That's mydryhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
This is Kristen, Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to jimmychurchradio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRAradio.com.
This is KJCR at jimmychurchradio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. As promised, I guaranteed an amazing show tonight. Cheuk Fei, live from Hong Kong. You know, it's pretty interesting for me to talk about this with Chuck, that the openness of ufology and the subject of UFOs in China, that we see it as the opposite over there, that it's closed down society and restricted information, but not with the subject of UFOs. I just find that absolutely fascinating. And what if, Chuck, what if you had a direct connection and you found out something that the Chinese and the military and the government were directly connected at, say an Area 51 or something like that? Would you talk about that on your show, or do you think that's a zone you just couldn't go into?
Oh, no, if that happens, I will go ahead and talk on my show without any problem.
You don't think you would wind up in a Chinese labor camp in Western China?
Yeah, they do, but they don't put a UFO researcher in there. Basically, if you get in there, you must be in trouble with the politics.
Right.
If you study UFO, you won't get in the jail. You won't get in the labor camp.
Right.
And as far as I know, I never. Instead, some of the researchers who die, and they have honor, they have a huge ceremony. They have people go there in all over in China, everywhere. They go to the ceremony, go to the funeral, and they make big news, report in the media. No problem with that.
Yeah,
I mean they are not murdered. Put it this way: they are not murdered. They are not, they're not dying because saying too much. No, they're not like this. And instead, some of them are actually retired government officer.
Well, could you imagine if it's the opposite of Hong Kong or China or Beijing, right? Could you imagine Wolf Blitzer, right, or Sean Hannity coming on Fox or CNN going, Washington Dulles Airport today was closed down for 6 hours because a UFO blocked 80 flights. No, that is not going to happen in the media over here in the United States. It just would not happen. And this
is so incredible. I mean, it's very. I mean, of course, I understand. I've been following the UFO cases in the United States for so many years. It is not surprising me, but also surprised me is China is actually so open into UFO study.
Yes. And we had the, and I know the incident that I'm talking about, certainly Leslie Kane speaks about it a lot, did a lot of great research, was the UFO that was spotted over O'Hare Airport in Chicago.
Right.
And that was a mass sighting, sighted by the tower, sighted by ground workers, and it was there and went up and left a hole in the clouds. But you didn't hear about that on the news. Right?
No,
that was completely
that is impossible.
suppressed.
I mean, it's so hard to believe. You stop an airport from running, and you're talking about the airport in Chicago. That is a huge, big airport.
The busiest in the world, yes.
Busiest in the world. I mean, you cannot cover that. I mean, people has a right to know. In China, it's different because the one in Xiliao Airport I just mentioned, if you look at the picture, you see one of the plane get hit by something cannot explain.
Yeah, let's get that picture posted really quick.
Xiliao 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, yep.
It reports in the news. And the pilots report they saw a disc before it hits to the nose of the plane. Nothing, not a bird can hit such depressions, right?
No, the plane is crashed, man. It's crashed. The front of the plane, it looks like, I don't even know how to explain it. It looks like it hit a round ball about the size of, it's got to be 30, 40 feet around.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, put it this way. This case happened. And the report did actually mention about the UFO and the identified flying objects hit the plane. But the final investigation report never comes out. Okay, probably because of the airline company. They have the airline company asked for the report, but the CAAC, which is the same thing as FCC, is it FAA, right?
FAA, yep.
FAA in the States is in China is CAAC. This department have investigation, but they never comes out of the report. Even the airline company asked for the report, they never give out.
That is the craziest set of pictures I've ever seen.
It did report in the news all over the country.
What year did this happen?
Let me think. This is probably about, I don't really have to, hold on. Okay, this is 2013.
Yeah, 2013.
16 of June, 2013.
That is the craziest
It's
set
the
of
same airport. The airport from Sichuan, Xinio Airport, International Airport, take off to Guangzhou, to South area, and 20 minutes later after the takeoff, it hits. No comment from CAAC. A pilot saw a disc. The radar operator saw the UFO on the radar.
Right.
And nobody have a clue what crossing this.
This is just crazy. That's the craziest set of pictures ever. I mean, that is seriously just nuts.
And many story before, if you look at the Asian, the pictures in Qing Dynasty. Qing Dynasty is, how to explain? If you look at the movie, if you watch the movie, Hidden Tiger or Crouching Dragon or something like that.
Yep.
With the funny hairstyle, half of the head is bald with a long tail hair. Those days, we have report of 1,000 people sawing a flying ball, firing ball.
That's right.
Throwing lighter than the sun. Thousands of people saw that. They all reported. They are all reported in the report from all those years back then. You cannot explain what they saw. The only thing you can explain is they saw the UFO.
Right. Yeah, and we could not, in the United States, and I'm being serious here, I don't know if we would even, if a plane hit a UFO and we had these pictures to prove it, I don't know if we'd see them.
You won't be able to see the pictures in the States.
No, not like this. This is because you can't explain this away. There's no easy. There's nothing. I mean, and the other thing is this. This is the thing, Chuck. Where is the object that this plane hit? Somebody
just going away.
Right.
After it hits, it probably not a hit in the right direction. Probably just trying to, maybe the flying just trying to stay away, but it hits, finally, but it's not a big. It's not a big hit.
But that's exactly the point. The point is, here in the States, they would try to say that this plane hit another plane. Well, if this plane hit another plane, then that plane crashed somewhere. So show me the crashed plane. That's my point. It obviously didn't hit a plane because that other plane would have had to have crashed. This hits...
Exactly. You won't hit a plane with only such a small depression.
Right.
On the front. And, remember the pilots did actually report it. And the radar operator did report it. But it all reported in the news. You think about it. It all reported in the news. So we may not have the Freedom of Information Act, but the people keep talking about UFOs in China.
Right. Yeah, that'll happen. All right, let's go to your chart, your UFOs chart, which we have over here. We have something similar, and so let's get this posted up in YouTube. And what are we looking at here? Let's start with the zebra one in the upper left-hand corner, and then let's just go all the way across.
Okay. This picture is basically a report from one of the UFO research community. These are the UFO they saw in China all this year. Now, this is only half of it. Not even half of it. This is only a tip of the iceberg. Okay? But this is the UFO we report in China. Some of them is quite similar to, probably to some of the UFO sighting in the States or maybe in some other countries. But some of them are quite unique, like the zebra one you mentioned, and also like the one with like a windmill at the bottom of the light. This is all the report they saw. But it's all different places, different report, and different years.
Okay, so I'll tell you something really funny about if we go next to the zebra one, all the way to the right, upper right-hand corner, there I posted a picture probably 3-4 years ago of something that was shot over here in the States, and it was above some trees. It was very similar to that. Silver. It had the same dots that looked like bolts or something.
Right. I saw the same thing as well. I mean, 2013, me and 20 people riding a bus from Area 51, Rachel, to Sedona. And it was a 4 hours ride, probably 4 hours ride. No, not from Rachel, from Vegas to Sedona, and I was in the front car, and then all the others are on the bus. And when we arrived Sedona, and those guys jump off the bus and screaming at me, they say, "You know what? There is a little metal ball following the bus all over from Vegas to Sedona." They have pictures. I saw the pictures. It's basically the same thing, like a ball, a metal ball. It's basically the same thing as this picture.
Yeah, it's what I saw too as well, and it makes you wonder. It could be ours. That's the first thing. Could be ours. Some kind of anti-gravity drone,
could have been.
Right? Or it is just quite simply a drone sent from somewhere else to check us out. That
is possible because they don't divide it. Okay, if I have to go to the United States, I send this kind of flying saucer, and they send the other flying saucer to China. I think if they want to investigate or they want to monitor us, I'm talking about the alien. If they want to monitor us, they will send They don't have what can I say? They don't have countries for them, right? No, this is the Earth.
It's
they
just
send
the Earth.
craft and following us. So that could be the same craft.
Yes, I totally agree. And it's funny because I look at this picture here, and that's exactly what was in this image that I posted. And I think that was taken, if my memory is correct, I want to say that was over Arizona as well.
Arizona?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ah.
Now,
Arizona have a lot of sightings.
Yeah, Arizona's...
I'm so happy with Arizona.
Yeah.
I went there all the time.
Arizona's off.
I even goes up to the hill where Travis Walton been abducted twice. He brought me to the abduction site.
Yeah,
twice.
I saw the video of you guys up there, up in Snowflake. Yeah, very cool.
Snowflake, yes.
Now, the other images here, what's interesting, some are, like you said, are similar to what we see here in the States, but some are very unique. Like the number 2 and 3 in the second row, the one that looks like a top with the pin coming out of the bottom of it, and the other one that looks like the letter C. I don't know how to explain it. Tell me about number 3 in the second row.
Okay, the one with the pin pops out. That is just a sighting of a UFO. But the other one, with the circle inside, with a darker circle outside, right, with something in between, that was the description from the old reports. From the old reports, from Qing Dynasty.
Yes, ancient reports.
Ancient reports, and. It was like how can I let me get the paper, let me make sure the time is right. Okay, that was the year of Song Dynasty,
Okay.
And it was long time ago. I don't know how to explain, but the years could be 960 to maybe 1279.
Okay.
Put it this way, around that area. And one of the artists who used to be working in the government, when he decided to travel when he get old. So he traveled everywhere in China and try to imagine the years would be the area in China would be the movie The Great Wall. The Mac Damon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the recent movie Great Wall, about that time, about that Song Dynasty.
Yes.
So this scholar who traveled around China and he saw something like this. He wrote that on his report, and it was like a flying object with an arrow in the middle. Right. With a how can I explain it more accurate? Which is he mentioned something like a bird being hunted by an arrow, but this is a boar instead of a bird.
And I see that. I totally see that. Very
and it's
interesting.
Flying around.
I wanted to ask you, or I wanted you to say to everybody really quick, my brother, Danny, lived in China for a long time in Fushan and taught in Beijing and so forth. And I was puzzled by that. And I said to him, I said, dude, why Beijing? Why Fushan? Why China? Why not stay here? And he said, Jimmy, it is the coolest place that you've ever visited. And he said, and if you are an American and you're here, everybody speaks English, everybody wants to talk to you, everybody is friendly and fun and walking the streets and talking to it is the best life ever. Is he telling me the truth? Right?
How can I let me think. Okay, for you maybe, yes. Yeah, if you encounter with the other different cultures, right? And Beijing is basically quite a nice area, except the air pollution these days.
Yes.
If there is no air pollution, that is a good place. And I have friends who live in Beijing, and they were from Beijing, and they were more like educated group of city. Put it this way, and the people who's there, they have more culture. They have more deep culture inside, so you will feel good in there. Okay, people will like it there. But for the Hong Kong people, if once we put into the view of politics, that is a different story. But for the view of ufology, that is another different story as well. I mean, I would like to go to China to study to study those UFO cases with the ufology expert there. I have no problem with that. I like that, and then they are really open to it.
Right.
They're friendly. They don't really keep in secret, but as long as you speak their language, you can understand Chinese. Then you have many cases or have many stories you can collect.
So for you, when you go to Beijing, you don't tell anybody you're from Hong Kong.
I tell them I'm from Hong Kong. I have no problem telling people I'm from Hong Kong. And basically for the citizens, they're not that kind of that political.
Right.
They're okay with people from other countries or other places. Even from Hong Kong, from Macau, they are all happy with that.
Right.
Once we are talking about ufology, everybody are friends all over the countries, right? Right. You don't have a different country, different culture anymore. Once we are talking about ufology, everybody wants to know the truth.
And that is your, how do I say this? That is your the common thing that you have between you. So politics doesn't come into play. If you guys are automatically friends, if you can talk about ufology and research.
Definitely. And Hong Kong have a very special area because we can collect information from all over the place. So they want to have information from us as well. And we have information from China. We have information from Taiwan. We have, Taiwan people never have information from China. It's very difficult.
Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you really quick. Do you ever have a guest on your show that don't speak Chinese?
I have one of the guy, Neil Glue, who is Exopolitics Hong Kong, who comes up to my show a lot of time. I'm gonna have a guest who studies CE5 from Stephen Clear.
Yep.
I'm gonna have him, and I have a guest who played the song, the Gong Bath. If you go to Contact in the Desert this year, you have to join the Integratron. Have you tried that?
I haven't done it yet. Can you? It's in my backyard.
You
man.
have to do it.
I know.
You have to do it.
I know. It's in my backyard, and Rita and I still have not been there, and we talk about it all the time. It's right here. Giant Rock is 1 hour from our house, but we've just never managed to pull that off. I know it's embarrassing. But
you have to be there. In Trekatron, I tried 2 times. I've been there 2 times. Every time when they start playing the song, I feel the vibration coming from my feet, and I feel my dying mother sitting next to me. Both times I was crying. I was so moved. I cannot even control myself. I have to stop videoing because I keep crying, because I have never ever felt such a spiritual moment at that time. You have to try it. It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe.
And I have one of the guests who played Gong Bath, pretty similar to the song Bath in Techotron. She comes up to my program. She speaks English. She's from Canada. Yeah, I have guests who speak English in my show.
So, yeah, because in Hong Kong, if you don't speak Chinese, everybody there basically speaks English, right? I mean, or they have, you know what I mean?
We basically don't speak Mandarin. Mandarin is the language in China, mainland China. We speak Cantonese.
Right.
In Guangzhou area, but it's different pronunciation, but we can understand the wordings. We can basically speaking the same language, but the pronunciation is different. Many of the Hong Kong people speak Chinese and speak English.
Right.
Many of them.
Right.
If you come to Hong Kong, you're going to be happy.
All right, man. We got to come over there and hang out with you. Thank you so much, Chuck. Absolutely fascinating show. Can't wait to get you back.
Thanks for having me, Jimmy.
And we're going to see you. I can't even believe it. April 1st is Saturday, which means 1 month away. Contact in the Desert, and we'll see you out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Cheuk Fei, everybody. And his websites are over at jimmychurchradio.com. You can go and click on the both. We will have all of these pictures posted up that he has given us. And once we get this up on YouTube, too, as well, I'll make sure that all of the pictures are posted in the videos, which we don't normally do, but I will do it for Chuck. Amazing conversation. Now, I want everybody to go back and listen to this show once again, because the point about all of this is when I first met him, when I first met Chuck last year at Contact in the Desert, his sincerity and his enthusiasm for ufology and for us was just evident in there, and it was radiant. So please come on out to Contact in the Desert, hang out with Chuck. I will introduce you, but his knowledge is there. And what goes on in China, see, this is what is most important that I want to drive home. Here in the United States, we only know what the media and the government tells us about China. That's all that we know. Right? Or that's what we've been fed over the years. It's simply not the case. And when it comes to ufology and the way that it is dealt with over there, it's an open subject. We don't talk about that over here. We don't know that about China. You need to have somebody like, Chuck, who actually does this. He's got his internet radio program. He's out there doing his thing there. And that's when you hear it firsthand. That is what you believe, and that is what you trust. Don't worry about what you have read in the past. That's why I wanted to have Chuck on the show tonight. It is a different world over there. Who would have guessed? And he's absolutely right. You can't have a group of, I want to reiterate, review what he said, a group of 20 people, right? Well, they went through their revolution. They don't want to have a rise up. Right? They don't want to have groups like that, and certainly groups together about politics. And if you're going to get together with a large group of people, you got to go and register it. But if it's UFOs, if you guys are talking about that, anything but ghost, and I thought that was very interesting, then it's open. You can do that, and they encourage it. Every time that I see a UFO video on the news in China, I just think to myself, they care. They're open about it, and we would never, ever see that kind of coverage here in the United States. And that's why I want to thank Chuck. Absolutely fantastic conversation tonight. Cheuk Fei. Now, his website is mj13show.com, and the links are over at Jimmy Church Radio. You can go and do it right now. And his other website is hiddenmessages.tv. I want to thank Cheuk Fei. What a conversation tonight. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Paul, Mark D. Kovar, LJ3, Renee, Jonas, Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Fady by Dale. Webmaster, Drew, the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Until tomorrow night, it's Open Lines, Fader Night with John Rappaport, and there's no more Fake Newsroom Live. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.